Geez, after all that, Ruben, you're a GM. Why don't you, if you're Jed Hoyer, won't you say, I don't know, you really, Willson, you want to stay? Like, let's re-up?
I may very well want to keep the guy. I mean, he said all the right things. I mean, listen, this is these are people. These are not pieces, and people have to understand that. I mean, these can be life changers for him. I mean, think about the emotional roller coaster this guy's gone through. He just played in an All-Star game with his brother, right? And he's been playing with the Cubs his entire career. Now he's got a very good chance of getting moved. I can't imagine that he'd stay with the organization. And it almost seems like they're letting him know that he's gone. But, I'm not sure if that's actually the case. But I will tell you that it certainly seems like he already knows something's happening.
He's been emotional for this past week, and we've seen him have some interviews, and you can tell it's really hit home for him. But I also look at an organization that he grew up in, right? This is a guy that became a man in that Chicago Cubs organization. And a lot of times that can affect you more ways than you can think about, not on the field, but off the field. And I think you understand that he's going to be able to help out somebody here pretty soon in a different organization wearing a different uniform.
Think about it. I mean, he won a World Series with these guys, and he was the most important position player on the field. And I would assume he caught the last pitch of the series. And so that's a really poignant moment for the young man.
And part of it, too, is we mentioned how good the fans are, even in a losing season. You can hear the love. I mean, it's nice. We know, look, it's a business. You can be kind of a mercenary, Xavier, you know that. And yet it doesn't feel that way there. The way the Cubs fans treat the players, the way they interact, that love, that respect is really there. And just to mention that, Contreras, he's not up there like mentioned with Buster Posey, but the last 5 years on the top 10 right now, the shredder that we have, and we rank the players by position, he's been in the top 5 every year. So he's not quite like up there with JT Realmuto or Buster Posey, but you see, since 2017, here are the shredder rankings here. 4th last year, 4th going into this year, 4th before that, 3rd, 5th, and 3rd. And the guys ahead of him are Realmuto, Grandal, Buster Posey. Before that, it was Yadier Molina, if you want to go back before, because he's been playing since 2016. But this guy's an outstanding player, and we showed you the Fangraphs WAR, which brings in framing, which is not his thing, right? Framing is the one thing that brings him down, but he throws guys out, and the bat plays, right? Over the last, 6 years, I think he's got like a 120 OPS plus. So this guy can really hit. You see the framing runs, that's down, but the overall DRS is up, the defensive runs saved. So is his throwing and his blocking, how do you put it all, that defensive stew together, Xavier?
Yeah, it's tough, right? You look at, if you're a pitcher, you want to make sure that you have the framing. That's going to be one of the big issues because we can quantify that nowadays. But I look at him and the way he handles a staff. That's got to be something of importance. Ruben mentioned the championship team. Like, you don't have catchers from championship teams just come out of nowhere, right? He obviously did something important. So I look at the value there, and then you mentioned the stick. That's always going to play, and he's been somebody that plays most days. Look, we're in the day of catchers not playing every day all the time. Right. He's been a guy that's gone to the post.
Yeah, I mean, the athleticism is just spectacular, and I love his energy. For me, it's about the energy, man. The guy loves playing baseball, and when you have a guy back there and you're a pitcher, I've never pitched, I've never been on a big league mound, but I got to believe that if I have that guy behind the plate, that's the guy I want to throw to. And again, I mean, he's been there for the World Series and won a ring. That's so important.
Another player that's on that Cubs team we just mentioned that could be on the trading block is Ian Happ. He's having an outstanding season, a career season, Ruben. What's the value of Happ and where he might go?
I mean, he could go anywhere. There's teams that are all over the place that need offense. I mean, and the fact that he can switch hit, he can play a variety of positions. I mean, I actually saw the guy as a scout play in the infield as well. But he can do so many different things. He's a very good athlete. He's actually grown. He's had some growing pains over the years, and he's gotten better and better and better, more mature. He knows how to play. He's not. Has he ever won a championship? No, but he's a guy that can do a lot of different things, and he's got a lot of versatility. I love the way he plays, and you know what? I mean, he's another guy that you're going to have him for just more than 1 year. He's not a rental, and so that's an important piece of the puzzle as well.
I just want to put in a slash line here because he's got an attractive slash line. It's a 282 batting average, 367 on base. So the batting average is there. It's not just walks, but the on base is there, and he's slugging 445. He's got 9 home runs. There's not many guys that have the batting average, the walks, and a little bit of power.
Right. You got to love all that, and I love the idea of him bringing depth to a team. It could be a team like the Atlanta Braves. We saw Adam Duvall go down. He's out for the rest of the season. Maybe they can have a bat come off the bench and maybe platoon a little bit. He can, like you said, he can play multiple positions. So that could be a team looking to maybe for an Ian Happ.
Is it out? We're just saying, we'll just take a fait accompli that they must trade these guys. They are Chicago. You could build on the fly and then add payroll, theoretically. They used to do that. Maybe they want to cut now. But is it possible to do this on the fly? Or do you think, no, they got to cut loose?
I believe that Ian Happ's value is never going to be greater at this stage of the game. He's got another year of control, at least. And so you're talking about a team that would love to have this kind of talent, not just for this year, also for next year, and kind of move forward with that.
Right. Their championship is not going to come next year, right?
No.
The year after,
no,
probably 2-3 years.
I do like the thought process, though, because especially with Contreras, you're looking to build teams around the catcher a lot of the times. Those guys are not a dime a dozen. You need solid catchers that can be able to hit. So if there was one guy I wanted to keep, it would be Contreras.